The contractions started at 3 a.m., sharp and sudden like someone was wringing my insides. I shook Daniel awake, my hand gripping his shoulder. "It's time," I whispered. He mumbled something about 5 more minutes, so I shook harder. "The baby's coming." That got him up, though he moved like molasses while I leaked amniotic fluid on our bedroom floor. Funny how men can panic about fantasy football, but move in slow motion during actual emergencies. The drive to the hospital was silent except for my breathing exercises and Daniel texting at red lights. I didn't ask who he was messaging at 3:30 in the morning. I was too busy trying not to have a baby in a Honda Civic. My name is Laura, and I was about to learn that giving birth to my daughter would be the second most painful experience of that week. The labor lasted 18 hours. 18 hours of Daniel complaining about the uncomfortable chair, the bad coffee, the weak Wi-Fi signal. He actually asked the nurse if there was a better waiting room for fathers, while I was dilated to 7 centimeters. "Push," the doctor commanded. "You've got this, babe," Daniel said, not looking up from his phone. Our daughter arrived at 9:47 p.m., perfect and screaming and absolutely beautiful. I held her against my chest, tears streaming down my face, overwhelmed by a love so fierce it felt like it might consume me. "She's perfect," I whispered to Daniel. "Yeah, she's great," he said. "Hey, I need to step out for a minute. Make some calls." He left before they'd even finished weighing her. The nurse, a woman named Beth who'd been holding my hand through the worst of it, watched him go with pursed lips. "First baby. First everything," I said, not taking my eyes off my daughter. We decided to name her Emma, after my grandmother. "Men sometimes need time to process," Beth said diplomatically. "Though usually they wait until after the umbilical cord is cut." Daniel returned an hour later, looking pleased with himself. "Good news. My family's coming to help." "When?" I was already dreading the visit. His mother, Patricia, had opinions about everything from my pregnancy diet to our nursery color scheme. "They're actually on their way. Should be at the house by tomorrow." "Tomorrow?" "Daniel, I won't even be discharged until." "That's perfect. Gives them time to get settled. Mom's going to get everything ready for when you come home." Something cold settled in my stomach. "Settled?" "Yeah, they're staying for a while. To help with the baby." He said it like he'd solved world hunger. "You're always saying you want more support." "Support, yes. His family treating our house like a hotel, no." But I was exhausted, hormonal, and holding our minutes-old daughter. I let it go. The next morning, Daniel left to prepare the house. He kissed me goodbye, took a selfie with Emma for his Instagram, and promised to be back before discharge. He wasn't. Instead, I got a text at 2 p.m. Small change of plans. "Mom needs the master bedroom for her back. You and Emma can use the nursery. It's closer to the baby anyway." I stared at the message, sure I'd misread it. Our master bedroom had the only bathroom with a tub, essential for my post-birth recovery. The nursery barely fit the crib and changing table. I called him. Straight to voicemail. Another text. "Don't worry about anything. Mom's handling it all. See you tomorrow." Beth found me crying an hour later, Emma sleeping peacefully in her bassinet, while I sobbed into hospital tissues. "Honey, what's wrong? Is the baby okay?" "My husband, his family." I showed her the texts. Her expression darkened. "They're putting you in the nursery? After you just gave birth." "His mom has a bad back," I said weakly, already making excuses for them. "So do you from pushing out a human being." She sat on the bed. "Do you have anywhere else to go?" I thought about my parents in Florida, my sister in Seattle. Everyone too far to help. "No, just home." "Then you go home and you take what's yours. That's your house too." Discharge day came with no Daniel. He texted that he was busy with preparations, and I should take an Uber. An Uber? With a newborn? After major medical trauma. Beth broke protocol and drove me home herself. "I'm off shift anyway," she said, loading my bags. "And I want to make sure you get inside okay." We pulled up to my house, a modest 3-bedroom Rambler Daniel and I had bought 2 years ago, and I immediately knew something was wrong. There were 3 cars in the driveway. Patricia's Lexus, my brother-in-law Kevin's truck, and a Honda I didn't recognize. But my car wasn't there. My paid-off, perfectly functional car was gone. "Where's your vehicle?" Beth asked. I don't know." I fumbled for my keys, Emma starting to fuss in her car seat. The key didn't work. I tried again, jiggling the lock like maybe I'd forgotten how doors worked. Nothing. "Did they change the locks?" Beth's voice was deadly quiet. Before I could answer, the door opened. Patricia stood there in my robe, my grandmother's silk robe that I'd saved for special occasions. Laura, you're early. We weren't expecting you until tonight. It's 3 p.m. Where's Daniel? And why doesn't my key work? Oh, we had to change the locks. Kevin's friend is staying in the guest room, and he lost his key already. Can't be too careful with a baby in the house. She smiled like she'd done me a favor. Come in, though you'll need to be quiet. Everyone's napping. I stepped into my own home like a stranger. The living room had been rearranged, my photos replaced with Patricia's family portraits. My plants were gone from the windows. Where are my things? I asked. We packed them up. Don't worry, they're safe in the garage. We needed to baby-proof everything. Plants aren't dangerous to newborns, Beth said coldly. Patricia noticed her for the first time. And you are. The nurse who made sure your grandchild arrived safely while your son played on his phone. Patricia's smile tightened. Well, thank you for the ride. We can take it from here. Actually, Beth said, I think I'll stay for tea. I loved her in that moment. Emma started crying in earnest, that newborn wail that shoots straight to your nervous system. I need to feed her, I said. The nursery's all set up, Patricia said. Though you'll have to be careful. Kevin's girlfriend is sleeping in there. What? On the daybed. She works nights, so she needs quiet during the day. You can use the rocking chair. In my own nursery, where someone else is sleeping. While you're in my bedroom. Don't be dramatic, Laura. We're all family here. That's when Daniel finally appeared, coming in from the garage with a beer. At 3 p.m., on the day his wife and child were coming home from the hospital. Hey babe, he said casually. How was the ride? Where's my car? Oh, Kevin needed to borrow it. His is in the shop. So you gave him my car? Without asking. It's a family car, he said, the rehearsed nature of the words telling me exactly who'd coached him. We all share. Beth stood up. Laura, can I talk to you outside for a moment? We stepped onto the porch, Emma still crying. Beth pulled out her phone. I'm calling someone. Please don't. I can handle this. Can you? Because from where I'm standing, you're about to be steamrolled by these people. You just gave birth. You need rest, support, and your own bed. Not whatever this is. She was right. But I was also exhausted, leaking from multiple places, and holding a screaming newborn. What am I supposed to do? You stand up for yourself and your baby. Or you let me call the police. The police? That's extreme. Is it? They changed your locks. Took your car. Moved you out of your own bedroom. What's next? As if on cue, Patricia appeared at the door. Laura, the baby's crying is disturbing everyone. Maybe you should take her for a drive. Oh wait. She smiled. I guess you can't. That's when I saw him. Getting out of a police cruiser that had just pulled up. Officer Marcus Wheeler, who'd been Marcus Wheeler, star quarterback when we were at Lincoln High 20 years ago. Got a call about a disturbance? He said, approaching. Patricia stepped forward. There's no disturbance, officer. Just a new mother being emotional. Marcus looked at me, recognition dawning. Laura? Laura Peterson? Laura Mitchell now, I said weakly. Congratulations on the baby. He looked between us all, cop instincts clearly pinging. Everything okay here? No, Beth said before I could lie. Mrs. Mitchell just returned from the hospital to find her locks changed and her vehicle gone. Marcus's friendly expression vanished. Is that true? It's a misunderstanding, Daniel said quickly, finally putting down his beer. My family's helping with the baby. By locking your wife out. We gave her a key. Patricia protested. Do you have it? Marcus asked me. No, they said I could get it later. Ma'am, Marcus turned to Patricia. Are you the homeowner? My son is. And your daughter-in-law? Isn't she also on the deed? Well, yes, but. Then you changed the locks on a homeowner without their consent. That's illegal. Where's Mrs. Mitchell's vehicle? My other son borrowed it, Patricia said, chin up. With her permission? Silence. Marcus turned to me. Laura, I need to ask you some questions. Would you like these people to leave while we talk? This is ridiculous. Daniel exploded. This is my house. Our house, I said quietly. Our house where I should be recovering with our daughter. Not standing on the porch because your family has taken over. I'm your family too. Then act like it. Marcus stepped between us. Here's what's going to happen. These folks are going to return Mrs. Mitchell's car immediately. They're going to provide her with a key to her own home. And they're going to vacate the premises unless Mrs. Mitchell specifically invites them to stay. You can't kick us out, Patricia shrieked. I'm not. I'm explaining the law. Your guests here only if both homeowners consent. Do you consent, Mr. Mitchell? Of course. Mrs. Mitchell? I looked at Daniel, at his mother wearing my robe, at the house I'd been locked out of, at my daughter who just needed somewhere quiet to eat and sleep. No, I said. I don't consent. The explosion was immediate. Patricia calling me ungrateful. Daniel saying I was ruining everything. Kevin's girlfriend stumbling out to see what the noise was about, wearing my nursing pajamas. I need backup, Marcus said into his radio. And possibly CPS. CPS? Daniel went pale. Why? Because you've effectively made your newborn and postpartum wife homeless by giving away their transportation and changing the locks. That's endangerment. We didn't make them homeless. Patricia protested. She can sleep in the nursery. With a stranger? While recovering from childbirth. Ma'am, please stop talking. 2 more officers arrived. One took statements while the other supervised Patricia's family packing up. My car was returned within an hour, Kevin sheepish and avoiding eye contact. Where will we go? Patricia wailed as she loaded her Lexus. To a hotel? Your other son's house? Anywhere but here, I said, finding strength I didn't know I had. Daniel refused to look at me. This is insane. They're trying to help. No, they're trying to take over. And you let them. I shifted Emma to my other arm. I'm going inside now. To my bedroom. In my house. You can join me when you remember you have a wife and child who need you more than your mother does. Beth stayed with me that first night, helping with Emma while I cried out the stress and hormones and sheer disbelief of it all. Daniel slept on the couch, texting furiously with his family about my betrayal. The next morning, I found him packing a bag. Going to stay with Mom for a bit, he said. Until you come to your senses. My senses? Daniel, they stole my car. Changed our locks. Moved strangers into our baby's room. They're not strangers. They're family. I'm your family. Emma's your family. We should be your priority. You humiliated them. Had them thrown out by cops. They humiliated me. Made me beg to enter my own home after giving birth to your child. He zipped the bag. Call me when you're ready to apologize. I didn't call. Instead, I called a locksmith and had the locks changed again. I called a lawyer and started documenting everything. I called my sister and cried for an hour while Emma slept. Marcus checked in a few days later. How are you holding up? My husband left to stay with the people who locked me out of my house. I laughed bitterly. So about as well as you'd expect. I'm sorry. For what it's worth, we see this more than you'd think. New baby brings out the crazy in families. Did I overreact? You stood up for yourself and your child. That's not overreacting. That's parenting. Patricia tried to visit when Emma was a week old. I watched through the doorbell camera as she discovered her key didn't work. The resulting tantrum was so spectacular I saved the video. Daniel filed for divorce when Emma was 3 months old. Claimed I'd alienated him from his family, turned into someone he didn't recognize. The judge, after reviewing the police reports and doorbell footage, didn't see it that way. I got the house, primary custody, and child support. Daniel got supervised visitation and a therapist's recommendation to work on boundaries with his mother. Emma's 2 now, toddling around the house that's truly ours. The master bedroom is our reading nook. The nursery is full of her toys and 0 strangers. My sister moved in to help, and together we're building the family I thought I'd have with Daniel. Sometimes I think about that day, coming home from the hospital to find myself locked out. How Beth stood by me. How Marcus treated me with dignity when my own husband wouldn't. How finding my voice when I was at my weakest turned out to be the strongest thing I'd ever done. Patricia still sends cards on holidays, addressing them only to Daniel and Emma like I don't exist. I throw them in the trash, then take my daughter to the park, to the library, to all the places where we're building our life without people who think love means ownership. The locks on my door now? They're top of the line. And everyone who has a key actually lives here, loves us, and would never dream of giving away my bed while I'm giving birth. Turns out that's not too much to ask for. It's the bare minimum. And Emma and I? We deserve so much more than the minimum. We deserve everything.